establish your sitting posture. Sitting is where you feel relaxed, present in the moment. Calming your mind, your body, drawing in here and now. And dear friends, today is Saturday, March 28, 2026. A couple of weeks ago, Jojo asked me, what does it mean to live in community? Along with that, Jojo also asked some deeper question. What do you do when everyone wants a village, but no one wants to be a villager? That's the old saying. What does taking refuge in a Sangha actually look like? Ooh. So I told Jojo that, instead of sharing on our Sunday regular service that we have here every Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. I told Jojo that I will share on a day of mindfulness, so we all can reflect on and practice, so that we all can be beneficial to these questions. So today in this Dharma talk, I'd like to share on the topic of what does it mean to live in a community. Zen Master Thich Thanh, famous in Thai, to his students and his followers. Is there anyone here who don't know who Zen Master Thich Thanh was? He passed away January 22nd, 2022. So it's been 4 years since his passing. So Zen Master Thich Thanh often said that living in a community is his greatest joy. He said that without the community, he don't think he can be as happy as he is now. We all like the idea of communities, but we never want to practice with an effort to build our community. Because the ideas always give us a sense of feeling the joy and the peace. But we need to know that the joy and peace needs to put effort into it. That's why everyone wants a village, but no one wants to be a villager. Because as a human being, we have the nature of laziness, the nature of don't want to do anything but want to receive, pamper, and be recognized and be loved. But we forgot that without our effort or patience or discipline or love, understanding, we cannot receive that. If we do receive it, just a shell. It's not a deeper meaning of community. Since Zen Master Thich Thanh Dieu was a young monk, he always had the aspiration and a dream to build a happy community. And indeed, he had successfully achieved that. Not just build a large monastic community, he had over 1,000 of monastics. But also, the lay community as well is thriving. And we can see that even though he had passed away 4 years ago, his community, both monastic and lay community, continues to grow and flourish through his practice teachings. Many of his students, monastic and lay students, continue to carry his legacy, continue to practice the teaching that he has already opened and make it possible for everyone to practice in practically and easy way. And recently, the Plum Village introduced the Living Gems. I don't know if anyone have know that. Living Gems is a collection of the Thich Thanh teachings. Over 3,000 of collection that has comprehensive in this collection. So it's like think of it like a wisdom encyclopedia, the living teaching of Thich Thanh. So from all his Dharma talk that was given when he was alive, through guided meditation, through mindfulness, and amongst other many beautiful teachings of Buddhism, it's all in there. And you just type in, and it can be answered. So maybe Jojo can just go type in, who knows? Zen Master can answer that question to you directly, and you feel like, he knows me, that I would ask this question 4 years later, huh? And so this is just wonderful to receive these living gems. And I think it's very, these teachings have become more accessible and more not to the younger generation and to everyone in the world. We all have digital devices, and all you need to do is click on this and can answer any of your questions. So any of you who have any questions, maybe you can go on Plum Village website and click on it, see what he has to say to your question. I want to introduce you this wonderful book that I read many years ago. It's called Joyfully Together, The Art of Building a Harmonious Community. Have anyone read this book yet? Not sure. It's I think you probably go online, Amazon, probably can find it. And in Vietnamese, it's Sống chung an lạc, nghệ thuật xây dựng tăng thân. And there's many wonderful teachings in here how you can build a community. But don't think community is just a group of different backgrounds of people come together. But community can be your family, can be your organization, can be your society. And in this book, the Zen Master share many wonderful Buddhist traditional practice, how we can build a Sangha, a community. But he also shares some of his creative teachings through his insight. He had come up with many creative ideas, like shining light, the second body, many beautiful teaching here. And I think maybe all your questions also in this book answer. And if so, maybe today I stop and I have to give a Dhamma talk and you just read this book and do the homework yourself and come back in fall and share with me. Yeah, well, if I did that, that would not be fair to you, huh? You know, every young Buddhist novice enter in monastic life. One of the training, one of very important training that was given to us was how to live harmony and mindfulness with the Sangha. Imagine you come to a Sangha, you live in this community where people come from different backgrounds, have a different temperaments, faith, belief, life experience, habits, and to live with amongst these people is not easy. It's quite challenging. But it's not hard if you know the technique, if you know the art of how to live with your Sangha, with your community. It's not hard. It just needs used with effort and with joy in the practice, and you can overcome the differences and the difficulties in this community. That you to take refuge and practice. As for me, I don't think I ever have argument with my Dharma brothers and sisters. I believe because I was so imprinted in these teachings of how to live in harmony, and like Zen Master and many Dharma teachers before and present, I also inspire to build this happy Sangha. Maybe not initial thought like the Zen Master. When I joined the monastic life, I just want Krishna enlightenment. That was only my ideas. And I remember as a novice, I asked my teacher if I can have a solitude retreat so I can soon reach enlightenment. I felt so long. and I felt like I'm so far away from enlightenment. So I think if I just had my own little hut and not practice with the Sangha, just by myself in this hut, I think I can reach enlightenment faster. And my teacher gave me this lesson, how to grow attention. How to grow attention. So growing attention, you need a seed, you need soil, you need fertilizer, water. You have to water every day, and you have to talk to the tantree before it will give you the fruits. So to live in a Sangha is to grow your actual tantree tree. And so when he gave this one-page poetry to me, I read it, and okay, I understand, I bow, and never asking if I can have a solitude retreat. And so with that, I take into my heart and practice, because living in harmony with your Sangha, with your community, is like the heart of the teachings of the Buddha. Because after all, Sangha is one of the three jewels that you take refuge in. The other jewels is the Buddha jewel, the Dharma jewel. The Buddha jewel is you take refuge in the Buddha jewel, is when you take refuge in the full enlightenment one, which is the Sakyamuni Buddha. But taking refuge in the Buddha jewel is you find awakening seed within yourself. So each of us have that awakening seed, and we want to nourish it, we want to cultivate it, so that one day it can blossom and we share that benefit to many beings. And take refuge in a Dharma jewel is take refuge in the Buddha teachings. But taking refuge in Dharma jewel is also bring the Dharma into a life through your walk, to your speech, your thinking, actions, bringing it out that you could be benefited with the energies of mindfulness, love, compassion, understanding. And if you can live like that, then you are truly a living Dharma. So living Dharma is not in the books, but living Dharma is how you present yourself to yourself, to your family, to your friends, to the community. That bring joy and love to one another. That's truly living Dharma. And take refuge in Sangha is to take refuge in the community. Original Buddhist tradition, when we say Sangha, we mean that it's fourfold community. It consists of Bhikshu, who is the male monk, Bhikshuni was a female monk, Upasaka was the layman, and Upasaka is mean lay women. That's considered we call fourfold community at the Sangha. But now Sangha is widely known. As long as we practice in living in harmony and of mindfulness awareness, we are Sangha. We have this Sangha inside us. According to scientists, we have 60,000 trillion cells living beings in our body. So we are truly a Sangha to ourselves. But we have to take refuge in our Sangha of monastic and lay, so that we motivate one another in practice and have a commitment to one another. But taking refuge in Sangha, we know that we have to be patient, we have to have understanding, a discipline, commitment. We don't just come and learn the Dharma and go and brag about it. But we come to Sangha when we learn something, we share upon to one another. We have to have commitment, dedication. You know, as I practice and I do Dharma activity here, I felt so joy when I see lay friends come and practice with us, with the monastic, and come and help us when we have a community service, community working, or just voluntarily ask for to help. What can I do to make the monastery more beautiful so that everyone can be benefited by it? You know, those questions make me feel very appreciated, very fortunate, because I felt that not alone serving the three jewels, but I have not just the monastic, but also the lay friends as well. And so when we have, when we take refuge in the community, we need to be aware of that and to build a community stronger and safe, because we are part of that community. So if we take it the practice of mindfulness, of concentration, of insight, and train ourselves in the practice, we will see the importance of building a community. We don't just want to build a village, but we want to be a villager. So the idea of wanting to have a village is not important, but the idea of wanting to be a villager, that's important, because one, you want to be a villager, that's what the village is awesome. It's collective energies, collective individual, that's important. When we come together, we come with collective energies, and that collective energies multiply many creativities, many happiness, many joy in that collection. The Buddha said our mind is created by our idea, our thoughts. So imagine you have the ideas of wanting to build a beautiful monastery and everyone want to benefit. But you alone cannot make that. You need many helps, many hands to come together. Maybe at first there's nothing yet. But everyone had the same idea like you. In 5 years, 10 years, you have a place for everyone to come and practice. Same thing as a family. You want a happy family. We all want a happy family. We want a mother or father or siblings or husband and wife get along together. We want that, but we forgot to put the effort of doing it. We forgot how to do it. But imagine you want that idea, you want a happy family, that everyone in that family member have to practice equally in sharing the duties, the chores, the love and understanding among each other. Your mother cannot be alone, be a happy family without you and your sister, your brother. Your father cannot sustain the beautiful family if your mother, yourself is not helping him. And he just cannot bring the money home and put it on the table and expect to have bread right away. Maybe he would, but that bread is very cold and hard and dry. But he brings the bread home and he walks into the kitchen and helps his wife. And their daughter and their son also come in and taste the food and chop up the vegetable. Well, even he bring home a very little bread, that bread multiplied, a big dish. There's a saying in the Vietnamese that this one family is very poor. They couldn't afford to buy a fish. So one day the father carved a wooden fish. And in this wooden fish, he pretended to pour soy sauce and put sugar and all the ingredients and put it on the stove and cook and serve the fish wooden fish. And so the family sit together and enjoy the smell of the soy sauce, all the ingredients here, and they can eat. And as they finish the meal, the fish is still in the dish. And the father said, "This is the joy. You see, we ate all the rice and the fish is still in the dish." And the children understand the teaching of his father. It's the harmony that the mother and father and the children come together and share a meal, even if it's a rice and soy sauce. But that rice and soy sauce is much richer than an actual fish. So as a novice, we learn we receive many training. As for myself, I'm not only received trainings from one teacher, many Dharma teachers, and among those Dharma teachers are Thich Thanh Dieu directly teach and transmitted to me teachings. From Mahayana school to Theravada to mindfulness, I always feel very rich and fortunate. And so when you feel that love, big Dharma love that was given to you, you don't want to make your Dharma teachers disappointed. You always live fully to the expectation and to their wish. And at first when I live with Sangha, I think it's very easy to me because I just follow the guidance of my teacher and with the community. I have no problem. There we always have schedules to practice, and you just follow that. And I'm very good at following schedules. But when I was a little bit older in my practice, I was sent to run a monastery. That was very difficult. So now I had to become the older sister, to become a spiritual teacher, to become the leader of my community. So then I felt like I have to put more effort than not just dancing around and just enjoying my practice. When my teacher says something, I just do it. No, sometimes I have to put effort in that practice more. But I'm trying not to do with suppression, with the must do. But I try to do with joy, and I try to do with love, and this is what I like. And with that, I feel like I nurture myself each day in the practice. And we all know that when we live in a community, we nurture our spiritual growth faster than reading from the text, right? Because it's alive. You learn so much from each other. Just like today, I don't need to contact each and every one of you, but I learn at least every one of you if I pay attention to you. I can learn. And so we learn not just by conversation, but we learn by observing our eyes. We learn by hearing what's around us. We learn by the energies that we contact and feel the energies around us. So in the Buddhist practice, it's very clear how we live in harmony in the community. And so there's many training to help us that. And the person who cannot live in harmony in Sangha, that person, I think they might want to ignore it. Otherwise, if you join the Buddhist community or the Sangha, and you study these training, you cannot not want to live in harmony. Your instinct, your deep love would not allow you that. So what are the training, and how do we get along with one another? And these are the training. Like the first training, we all receive mindfulness training or precept, the ethical guidelines. We start with the 5 precepts. So everyone who joins, who practice Buddhism, always receive the 5 ethical guidelines, or 5 principles, 5 mindfulness training. And this training it's not just for a Buddhist community. It's not just for Sangha. It's universal. Like for example, one training is reference for all life. We want to love and respect everyone's life, right? And we don't want to harm in life. So don't think harm is someone is mean you have to kill, but harming or speech or thinking. So when you observe these 5 guidelines, you don't want to hurt anyone. You just want to offer joy and love. And the second, you don't want to steal anyone's stuff without permission. You want to ask. And matter of fact, you not only want to ask, but you want to give. You want to share. I often tell my monastic that it's not important to receive a gift, but important to give to someone and someone accept that your gift. Because sometimes you offer the gift, not everyone wants to accept that gift. They might be polite and accept that gift and throw it away. But for someone who accepts your gift and treasure it and use it, that's a great gift that you receive it back. And the third training is to build a true happiness. You want to live in a harmony. You want to live with respect and with joy amongst each other, your family. The fourth training for precept is we practice loving speech. All you want to practice loving speech. Find the right word to say. To use a word of confidence, word of hope, and inspire others to live a happy life, just like you want yourself to be happy. And you don't want to speak harsh are using manipulative speech or gossip to break the relationship, the harmony among your community, Sangha, your family. You want it harmony, you want it. And so by practicing loving speech, you have to practice deep listening, because without deep listening, you cannot have loving speech. That's almost impossible. Because you have to listen to yourself and others. What do you want to say? So make sure that speech is loving speech. So loving speech doesn't come out naturally like that. Unless someone gives you something and you feel happy, then so you just say that respectfully and love back. But that's not true loving speech. True loving speech when it's coming in deep listening in yourself first and in the other. You would ask, so what do I say to make that person feel happy? Make the person feel joy. To make the person become a better person. Make the person to have a happy life. And to change his habits, change her habit. So you have to listen before you can say. And the fifth is the practice of living a healing life, consuming right diet. So if you live in a family and you want a happy family, but you're not practicing the right diet, you're not doing the exercise, you're not keeping your body healthy, you're not sleeping on time, you stay up late, you're always on your social media, how can you build a happy family? How can you bring joy to your community? You can't. You're living in the ghost world. You're not living in the reality world. Now that's where we say we like the village, but we don't want to be a villager. Because each of us have our own little platform through that digital iPad or iPhone. And the world we live in today, for me, I'm very grateful for all the technologies that invented and that introduced to the society. But there is also sadness inside me that I felt the younger generation, because they're connected so early in their age. Some of the young generation connected when they were only 1 year old. So all their life they only know iPad and iPhone, and the world is a visual world, not reality world. And even in adulthood, we can see that we don't want to be lonely. So we think that having iPhone, iPad, or be a part of social media, that's also help us to dissolve the loneliness. But that's not true. It makes us more lonely. And so that's part of my exam. I just hope that the younger generation and those who are very attached to the phones and the iPad and social media, I hope that you only use that to expand your knowledge. You only use that to keep you more creative. You only use that so that you can build a happy family, community, your organization, and building your knowledge, expanding your knowledge, but not using it to escape the reality world, not using it to escape your responsibility, not using it to escape your duty, your responsibility as a son, as a daughter, as a husband and wife, as a member among the community. As the monastic, one of our mindful conduct is not to use phone, and only if you're a senior and you must have, the phone, then you can. But even now, as I'm a teacher, it's hard for me to tell my monastic not to use phone. So I always encourage them, if you can do that, then try. When you're a novice, try not to use your phone. Stay away from it. And sometimes it's very hard. So you would come to practice the middle path, so you would give a certain hour to use it, so you won't, clench on it, you won't attach it, because it is easy to attach to your phone, your iPad, because one click can be your next click, next stream, and you pretty soon you know that you had hooked into that website. So when I was in novice, we didn't have phone yet. There's no internet yet. Even growing up, my movie that I watched is Sesame Street. And on Saturday you watch this cartoon X-Men, Tom and Jerry, Three Stooges. And my dad loved camping, so he took us to camping when we have a long weekend. Otherwise, he would take us to the zoo, to picnic. So we never at home on Saturday and Sunday. So it was time to take us at night. And I was happy to have grown up with that environment. And so with that environment, it's embedded in me. That's nurtured me when I was a child. So when I joined the order, like I said, it was not hard for me to learn to do harmony in the Sangha. So beside the 5 guidelines, we learned the threefold training. Threefold training is mindfulness. Mindfulness training is always be present in the moment, always aware of what you're doing, always aware of what you're saying, always aware of what you're thinking, so that you are mindfulness to your action and speech and thinking and in action. So when you are mindful, you likely you're not make a mistake. Only when your mindfulness is absent, that's when you make mistakes. So you always tell you to live in mindfulness. And in order for that mindfulness to sustain, you have to concentrate and focus on it, on the thing that you're doing. So as a monastic, we train ourselves not in sitting, when we do a sitting meditation or when we're chanting, but we train ourselves when we work around the monastery, whether cooking or in the yard or doing administration work, going out and giving Dharma talk. All that is training, living mindfulness. So when you're training, living mindfulness, and you focus on that practice, and then eventually you have this insight, and you realize, oh, this is how you make this better next time. This is how you should improve next time. This is how you should work with joyfully and not being attached to the work. And so the more you work, the more insight you gain from it. Other training, I also like to share that I was trained to live in harmony in our Hmong community, is the 4 immeasurable mind of love. First one is metta, offering love. Always want to offer love, not to receive love. This is where you want to be a villager, not want a village. Always want to offer love. You don't want to wait for someone to offer you love, but you want to offer. You want to be the one to offer love first. That's a true metta in training. If you always want to offer love, then you don't want to hurt or harm or making anyone sad or disappoint anyone. Because in your mind, you want to offer love. So offering love can be a simple gesture by smile, like a hug. Offering love by offering phật, like today's go Yak said, offer love. She didn't say word to most of you, but she offered love by making phở that she prepared yesterday. And she wake up very early this morning to prepare that. And it was Thanh Dieu help, the monastic. So the action is go Thanh Dieu. They offer love by prepare phở for you. So offering love can be very creative. Don't think you have to offer love by buying someone a gift, but offer love through your speech, your action, It's simple action like offering your mother a glass of orange juice, a glass of water. That's a true metta. That's true offering love. I offer my love by sharing my practice with you, so we both can reflect on and walk on the same path, a path of awakening and liberation. The second aspect of for immeasurable love is karuna, compassion. Offering love now we help someone to relieve the suffering. So we go from the easy practice to a harder practice. Offering love, to me, I think is easier. But to help someone to release suffering, to help someone to transform the suffering, it's not easy. You have to practice. You have to practice in order to offer that. In ordinary life, you have to have knowledge to share someone what you do. But with offering, helping someone to release someone's suffering, you need to have patience. You need to practice patience. You need to practice deep listening and understanding. It can be hours and hours, days and days, months and months. I know we have a psychologist in this room, and or a counselor, or those who go to see a counselor. It's just not one section, but many sections, right? And sometimes it can be lifetime section for you, because you felt like this with the counseling, with the guideline, with the psychiatrist or psychologist, would be more safe and more functional in your daily life. And why they charge you a lot of money? Because they spend hours listening to your problem. Just listen to your problem only. And we like that. We like someone to listen to your problem, but don't tell me what to do. Even they offer something, you still don't want to do because it's so hard. You have to put effort in solving your problem. So the second aspect is karuna, helping someone release their suffering. So today I did a little action. I hope I did help Gabriella to heal your skin, be listening on your skin. Do you feel better now? Yeah. So that's how offering us release the suffering, physical. But release suffering and physical pain is easier than mentally. Like I said, you have to. I only need 1 minute, and Gabrielle feels fine. But for mentally pain, if it was Gabriella is in mentally pain, I would have to spend hours and hours, day and day with her to help her to resolve. A third aspect of four measured mind of love is offering joy. Joy is samadhi, or cat. This is the first time coming here and listen. And I think because I mentioned concentration, in Pali we call samadhi. So I think he thought I called his name to come here. Concentration. So third aspect is offering joy. The joy here is not to feel the joy that you receive recognition, validation, or achievement. But the joy here, the deeply joy, is when you see someone accomplish something and you feel joy without feel envy or jealous to it. But you actually learn from their achievement and applause and look up. We often have the seed of jealousy in us. When we see someone even in our family member, when our mother compliments our sister or brother, whether older brother or younger sister, we feel jealous because we don't see our mom compliment or dad compliment us. Why? She's always compliment my sister or my brother, but not me. But we forgot, instead of being jealous, why don't we admire her work? What is there among compliments I can learn and be like my older or younger sister? So in joy, we have to respect and support a good action of our neighbor, of our community members, our friends, our colleagues. And we together join in and make that achievement bigger achievement. So sometimes we have to play a supportive role. Sometimes there's a point we have to play a leading role, but there's a time that we want to play a support role. The support role is very important, and sometimes leading role. And I often told myself, if I have a chance, I would always want to support any Dharma teacher that have a harmony community. I want to be part of that and support that community. And that was why I have the dream that wants to travel around the world to in different traditional communities, so I can learn and I can grow my spiritual. And the four aspects of living the harmony of the four dimensional mind of love is academic. Putting easy ways to understand, not discriminating mind. You have to feel equality between you and everyone. And you and everyone have the same nature awakening. You and everyone have the same nature of growth in any dream and any aspect that you want. You and everyone have the same love and passion deep under your alaya consciousness. But why some other have bigger compassion than others is because they train themselves every day. Everything has to go through training and practice. They don't just come like that. If you were able to look among your friends, your family members, community, society, would not discriminate mind and love just the way that they are, and not just them. And then you are practicing academically. You see Asian, you see Caucasian, you see African, you see any race, and you truly see that person in you, a brother and sister, then that's truly academic. In practice. And this is very important. This is very hard because sometimes when we connect someone who has same belief, same faith, same culture, same idea with us, it's easy to connect, right? But it's not easy to connect with those who have different faith, different belief, and different background, different races, different appearance. It's not easy. But if you practice training, you really truly see that deep under the skin, deep under that belief, we all share red blood and salty tears. Is there any tear that's not salty? And we can see that we are truly brothers and sisters. And the last practice I'd like to share with you that I think will be very beneficial to you is the sixth principle of knowing how to live in harmony. And it's also in this book as well. And that's why I had the Zen garden. When I designed a Zen garden, I said, how should I name this? Well, I want everyone to live in harmony, so I just go name Harmony Garden. In Buddhist practice, there are 6 principles of harmony that we have to practice, observe, and train ourselves to stay. And the first harmony is sharing space, body in harmony. So let's start from a small community first, family. Let's say you're in your family. There's only 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom for your mom and your dad, and 1 bedroom for you and your sister. So you have to learn to share space. You have to learn how to live in harmony, right? In that room, in that house. But sharing space is not enough. You have to share the chores around the family. You cannot make your husband, your wife cook all the time and you just come home and enjoy the meal and watch TV. That's not harmony in body. Harmony in body is a husband and wife share equally. Even you don't know how to cook, you have to cook. Because if you don't cook and you just make one person cook, yes, she probably enjoy cooking, but only first couple of years of marriage. After 10-year marriage, you get tired. And you also get tired if you eat the same food. And you become bored too because you're not creative and you allow your creativity to expand in the cooking. Or receiving your cooking from mom only. What about when you're in college? Who will cook for you? When you're coming to live in a community, how would you share your cooking? Because cooking, to me, I think is a piece of art. It's very much artwork. I don't know, anyone here likes to cook? I love to cook. I really love to cook. People thought I don't know how to cook because as an abbot, I do everything, but I always create this. When I was novice, I create my kitchen like a laboratory. I really did. I could imagine this is a laboratory, and in our monastery, every monastery, there's like an altar, a kitchen, Buddha altar. You would come, you offer incense first before you cook, and you say short praise. Like for my praise, I say Namo kitchen Buddha. I said 3 times. I said, may today that whatever I offer to the Sangha, may my food be healing to my teacher, to my brother, to my sister, to those who eat this food. May they feel the joy and the peace of having in this food, even though my cooking is not going to be good, but bring magical into there. You hide from that imperfection. And it's worked. And it turned out I never received any complaint about my cooking. I'm not sure they're being polite. I never dare to ask because I'm not ready for the truth as a first novice. But the no complaint. So with that joy, everyone never complains to you. You feel like you want to improve your cooking. And so I create some of my dishes I create. Like one time I was in Plum Village and I volunteered to do tofu because when you buy tofu in Plum Village, and you have to go Bordeaux for an hour, 45 minutes to get one. And it's not cheap. It's I think it's almost €2, just one piece of tofu. Where in the United States only 50 cents. That's how expensive it is. And so because it's so hard to get tofu and it's so expensive, so the monastic had to make tofu. So I learned to make tofu. And making tofu when you have not good soybeans, it's very hard. So I'm giving you a secret how to make tofu. And hope you will make tofu when you go home today. Very simple. So if you buy good soybean, then you have no problem. But if you don't buy good soybean, old soybean, you have to pick out the not good soybean, the dark ones, throw away. Otherwise, you have the black spot in your tofu, not giving a white. So just think that that you have good soybean. So in this soybean, you have the grinder, and you grind it and get the milk out of the soybeans. And you put a little water and grind it. And after the first one, you put it back again to the second time to make sure you get all the milk from the soybean. And that soybeans that left, you can actually make good patty for other dishes. And so when you have a soy milk, you cook at low heat, very low heat. Because if you turn high heat, it's going to burn, and you stir slowly. So imagine I had to cook to each hamlet at least 30 to 40 people, 40 monastic, not included lay. So let's say 4 hamlets. So I would have to make tofu for, especially on the day of Mindfulness, where all 4 hamlets come together and practice. But if you just make for your own hamlet, I live in New Hamlet, so there's only about 35 or 40 of us, then you have to make a lot for 1 week use. So you imagine this, the pot is very big, just big like the one that we serve on New Year's, okay, for our market day. That's how big it is. And that big pot can serve for 50 people to 100. No, I think it's 100 serving, almost 100. And then you have to put low heat and you stir until it's boiled, until you smell the soy milk. Before that, you have prepared vinegar and apple vinegar. Use apple vinegar, use salt and water. The portion is depend. If you want hard, firm tofu, then you put a lot of vinegar. If you want a soft tofu, you put a little vinegar. So that's the secret. You want firm or soft tofu. And you put a little salt and you mix that. And you pour slowly when after the soy milk is boiled. You pour so slowly and until the way that you like. Then you have this box that you can make holes in the bottom so that it can drain, water can drain through. And you pour it into this wooden box. And you cover it with a thin cloth. And you pat it down so that it gives you a very nice shape of tofu. And you leave it 4 hours to overnight, whatever you want. And then in the morning, you would cut and you put in cold water and you put in the refrigerator. That's how you make tofu. Mm-hmm. See, no artificial, no preservative, very healthy. And so I remember one time when New Hamlet was hosting the Day of Mindfulness. When a Hamlet hosts Day of Mindfulness, you have to prepare the cookies for over hundreds people. So I know that following week I was in the cooking teams. So I perfectly make a lot of tofu. And I just want pure tofu only. I don't want to mix anything in there. So I play around with it. I put a little mushroom in my tofu when I make tofu, mushroom and glass noodle. And I mix that in there so that I can bake it. And I dip with ginger sauce, soy sauce. And I remember a few of some of the monastic brothers and sisters say, "You are very rich." I said, "Why?" "What do you mean? You serve only tofu today." we normally, when we serve tofu, we mix things so that it's not going way too much tofu. But here I make one tofu that day. I use all of it in one cooking. Because I enjoy making tofu. I can make next day. I have no problem making tofu. And so I felt so joyous, that when I was in the United States, eating tofu was like, sometimes you feel like you don't want it anymore. But here in Plum Village, everyone sees tofu like gold, like piece of gold, something that is hard to really have. Because you see the preparation I just described you, it's not easy. And so sometimes we have to mix with potato or something else to make it, use less tofu. So when you live in Sangha, you share this body and body. So this means you want to be very responsible and you want to do the best that you can offer to your Sangha. And that's the idea of harmony, body and body. You truly dwell in your own Sangha. You truly dwell in your family. You know what your Sangha wants. You know what the Sangha needs. You don't need anyone to ask you, oh, go sweep the floor. Go clean the toilet. You don't need anyone to ask you. Even with assigned to someone else, but you know that person has forgotten to do it, you should do it. But you don't have to wait. And that's the joy. And that's truly body and body. Live in harmony in body and body. Just like when you come home and you don't have to say, wife, did you cook anything? Yes. You don't have to say that. You just come into the kitchen and you don't see anything on the table. You just come, open the refrigerator, and show your chief as a father who can serve to the family. Be a good chef to your family. And then our girl, when you come home, if your mom not preparing anything, you come and cook for your mom. You say, Mom, today let me make scrambled eggs. Let me cook instant noodles. Let me make you a salad that I just learned from YouTube. You can learn so much from YouTube just a click. And so, like I say, use advanced technology as a tool to expand your knowledge, a tool to expand your understanding and love that you can serve to your family, to your community, and to your neighbor. The second harmony in speech. Always be kind and respectful. If you have nothing to say, what should we do? Don't say anything. Smart girl. Don't say anything. But don't say anything. Does that mean you have to go, bang on the door or hit the wall? No, don't say anything, but come back to your breathing. Come back to breathing. Don't say anything. Come back to your breathing. Add that. Don't say anything. Come back to your breathing. Take a walk. Take a deep relaxation. For yourself a glass of hot water, warm water, cold water, whatever you prefer, to make you calm, to make you aware of your body, mind, feelings, and objects of mind. And then, if you can do that, then there's always loving kindness that you can offer in your speech. That person, always harmony in your speech. Speak kind. The third is harmony in the mind. Harmony of mind is you have the openness, accepting the other point of view. One of the practices is you have to think like this. Don't take things so serious. Even it is to you is serious. To me, I think the only serious thing that you have to aware and take into consideration is awakening. Everything else, I think, it's just a gain of life. It's just a joy of life. And because you have this body, and you're born into this world, you just flow along with that stream. And that, if it's too cold here, swing, turn another direction, and swim another stream. So when someone shares something, don't take it seriously. Just listen. And if you're not ready to accept that sharing, then reflect on it. Put it into practice. Put it into experiment before you reject, before you say no. So harmony in mind, it's not hard. It's a practice. It's a matter that you have to practice deep listening, and for imagine mind of love or not. If you can practice deep listening and you can listen truly to why that person saying that, then you can be openness and accept to be sharing. Maybe that person sharing, it cannot be put it today. It can be put it some later on in life. So, in a monastery, when we have a meeting, one meeting never enough. It takes sometimes at least 3 meetings until everyone accepts one another. But we don't say anything, we just listen. And we just share our thoughts and ideas. We don't take vote. Okay, we never take vote, but we listen to see who shares, have more sharing in common. If there's more sharing in common among the group, then we know, this is the Sangha I have to take into this consideration. And so, when we have the meeting, there's never argument. Someone say, you invite the bell and you listen. And after that person say, then you speak the bell, invite another person, listen. And if the sharing, we don't see any comment there, we say, okay, we see you next Thursday again, until it's resolved. And so we can find the sharing in common. So harmony in mind is being open-minded, don't judge. And just practice listening. The fourth harmony in observation precept, just like I share with you. Precepts and ethical guidelines. In the monastic life, we have not just 5 precepts, but we have 348 precepts as Bhikshu, and 250 as Bhikshu. So someone might ask a question, so why male have less precepts to observe, and why females monks have more precepts to observe? And that's because female have more of the needs to be cared for. And think of this precept, it's not something that stopping you from freedom, stopping you from receiving love, but actually giving you more freedom, more love. Because in this precept, you are training yourself to offer love to someone else, but also to know that when you need something, you have to ask. And it's okay to ask for love. It's okay to ask for help. And because the female body is different from male body, so sometimes the female body need more of assistance, more help than the male. And this is why the female live longer life than the male, according to scientists, I think made it up. Because, when you have a weaker immune system and weaker body, then you tend to take care of your body more, right? You tend to be more alert. And so anything go wrong, you know right away. But when you want to build a strong body, you never take care of your body enough, because you feel like, you're always strong, you're always striving. So when you're sick, you just pass away, right? Instantly, without aware of your sickness. And so that's one of the reasons why there's more precept observed by the female. Female need more protection too, because in the Buddha time, monks, the monastics don't live in the house or under the roof. It's always under the tree. They always walk barefoot, village to village for alms, begging for food. And so imagine the female body functions different from male, so we need more observe in the practice and more protection. That's why there's more of the precept. So much of the precept of Buddha have a great love for the female monk than monks. To me, that's how I believe. As I read this precept, I see the Buddha have great love for female monks. And all the precept is more like protection. So if your family member in your family, you should also have some guidelines that everyone should follow. I'm not sure any of your family has their own guidelines that everyone in the family member have to observe and to practice. Is anyone here growing up in a family that there's a guideline that everyone observe and practice together? So, no one? I know some family would have that guideline to do it. And so in the community, in organization, we all have guidelines. And we need to practice that guideline as living. Otherwise, we cannot live in harmony. Otherwise, we don't want to be a villager. We want a village. And that's how we live in taking refuge in the Sangha, to survive. The mindful conduct, the guidelines given, the precept that was transmitted to you. The fifth is harmony in sharing benefit. So everything you have, you share. And this is very joyful. So in 2004, I was in Deer Park Monastery, and Sangha had organized a big rain retreat. And he invited all 8 monasteries in all his community, lay and monastic, come and Deer Park and practice for 3 months. And there were over 1,000 monastic and 700 lays, men and women come and practice. Imagine, close to 2,000, huh? And we were able to go through that 3-month retreat without running out of water. You know, with Deer Park Monastery, some of you who have been there is in the mountains. And so sometimes it's hard to get water because it's from the well. So we have to be very conservative. We have to be very consuming in conserving the water as well as electricity. Otherwise, we would not have enough water. So I remember there's a line when you use the bathroom, and I still remember it because it's rhyme like. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, push it down. So just like, and I know it's an old saying, but I never see that until I went to the fun village. And I know some of you think it's not pleasant to see it, but I thought, this is interesting. At least you don't have to go out in the wood and then do your hygiene. And so when you have something that given to you, like for example, when my brother visited me, he bought me a candy. And luckily he bought me some candy that in the bag was individual candy serving. So I have to go to every sister room because I live in a sister hamlet. So I don't have to worry about the brothers. Every room I come and put a little candy there on the bed. And I realized that just 3 bags of candy, I finished all of it. But each sister only can receive this one candy, a little candy. And I remember my brother said, "What did you like next time I visit you?" I said, "How about grapefruit?" But I told him, "You have to buy at least 400 grapefruit." He's like, "Where's the money I get to buy you 400 grapefruits?" What did I say? Well, how about this? Maybe we could put 2 or 3 grapefruit for each hut, depending on the amount of the sister lived in that quarters. And he said, "Well, that's good." So he actually bought 200 grapefruit for me to serve. so I think he went to some garden to ask for that grapefruit. And I remember the sister looked out, we're going to enjoy this grapefruit. But the part of the fun thing is to give someone a gift without being anonymous. You don't let anyone know who gave that. So they feel the joy and enjoy. Feel like a fairy lady come and give them the gift. So you share everything you have. Now here's a funny story my teacher shared with me. So when my teacher was a young monk, they lived in this dormitory together. And in his room, there's 3 monks live with him. One monk had a very rich family, so every time his family come and visit him, they always bought, a powder of mix. And back in 1940 something, powder mix is in 50s. It is very expensive, almost like multi-grain powder or insure powder, all that kind of powder. So when he received, he put it under his bed. He doesn't want to share. So when this is young monks, okay? When you're young, you still have that ingredient in you. And even still now, right? So you have something in you. And so my teacher is very playful when he was young. And so he said, why don't we play some little trick on this brother? So we go to the chanting and we come back early. And we take the powder and put some soap in there. The powder soap. And he put a little soap in there. And then when this monk come back from the chanting and hide his powder, multi-grain powder, and mix and drink by himself, and he poured the powder in, and for hot water, he saw bubbly. He knew exactly who did this. And he came to my teacher, the other monk, and said, why did you do that? You could ask me and I could give it to you. And so from that on, everything was split evenly, shared. So, but I think you live in a community that's something to reflect on, to have fun and say, I know sharing you something like that, you say, oh, that's mean thing to do. But I think a monk girl might not do it, right? Who knows, maybe. But masculine boy can be very playful. But then I should not be, racist boy, girl too. Sometimes can be very, very playful as well. So in the monastic Sangha, we always share everything. And sometimes when our family brings something, we put it right in the common room so everyone can take and eat. We don't want to put it high all of a sudden. And that's the practice. And the last of 6 principles of harmony is harmony in the right view, right understanding. You only want to share your understanding and your view. You should not be afraid just by your Sangha or by your community. If you have good ideas, good knowledge, good understanding, please share it so that we can support one another. But just make sure keep it humble. You will know whether you're humble or not. If you're sharing something and you want everyone to recognize and allow them to think that you have insight, then that's not humble. But when you share something, you want everyone to benefit from this practice and this understanding that you share, so everyone can walk with you on the path of liberation and awakening. And that is a true harmony in the right view, right understanding. But just try to be humble on that. And so if you live with a husband and wife family, you can make sure you share your knowledge. I know, as a sibling, sometimes you might not share. I don't know what happened to any of you here, that you might not want to share your knowledge to your siblings because you're afraid that he might or she might get A's and you don't, and so he got reward and you don't. But if you do that, then you're not in harmony. You're supposed to share your understanding, your right. So see, if you practice this 6th harmony, then automatically the community you deal, the family that you live in, the society that you live in, is always in harmony, always love. And these, what I share with you today, everybody can practice. Everybody can put into practice. Whether you're a Catholic, Christian, or other belief, you can still practice because these are the universal laws. It's not just for a Buddhist practitioner, but everyone who want to practice, who want to do a harmonious community, who want to have a happy family, who want to live in a safe neighborhood, who want to have a safe society, then we need to invite one another to practice this teachings, from threefold training to four imagined mind of love, to sixth principle of harmony, and practice all the regulation and law that is given in society, or the guideline you had observed practice. So I think after this Dharma talk, we all want to be villagers. We don't want just a village. When we all a villager, suddenly a village established, bloom, blossom. And now I think Jojo knows what's the idea of living in a community. Live in a community, patient, deep listening, discipline, self-discipline, self-awareness, commitment. We have to make the action. We don't wait till someone tells us what to do if we want a happy community. Like, I don't need you to tell me what I need to do to make this place a practice center. I don't need my teacher to tell me what to do because I had already been told and been trained when I was novice. As a female monk, I know that I owe great, deep gratitude to my parents, to my teacher, to my friends, that include lay practitioner, lay Buddhists, who support the monastic on having a place to live, have a place to practice, and serving the three jewels. And so I owe so much gratitude. And I don't need at this age, to this point in my practice, in my life, I don't need anyone to tell me. I know what I need to do. And I don't need to wait till to do this. When I was novice, I had that discipline in me. And we need to have that if we want to have a beautiful family, happy community, and happy neighbor. And so maybe today, if you live in a neighborhood, come and knock on the door and offer something to your neighbor, or to ask, if you have a salt in your house, just come and ask for salt. You don't have to wait to go to the store. We don't do that anymore, but I think that's how we connect our neighbor, is to ask something. And sometimes we're afraid of asking because we feel like if I give today, if I ask something from my neighbor today, that means tomorrow I have to give something back. Don't think that way. Don't think that way. Just think that your way of asking is to connect to your friends, to your neighbor. A way of asking something from your sibling, your mom, is you're connected to your mom. Not what you get, but the way that you want. It's a way for you to be connected to your family, to your community, to your neighbor. And if tomorrow you have to give something back, think that's unfortunate. That you're able to give something to someone and someone accept that with love, with respect. So receiving something to me, like I say, is not a gift, but giving someone something is the greatest gift. And so today, I hope that my sharing will help each and every one of you to do a happier family. I know your family's already happy, but make it more happier. I hope today my sharing will help you to reach out to your neighbors, your community, and to be part of many communities, not just one community. Because community is where you find love, understanding, protection. And if you belong to a community, you know that you never be alone. And always know that you're not a stranger. You are part in that community. You're part of that network. And you make the action. You don't wait someone telling you what to do. Because we are old enough and we have our insight. Young generation like you, I know you're very smart and you know what to do to make it yourself happy in the right way, and you make your family parents happy in a respectful way. So I thank you for your listening. I know my Dharma talk takes a little longer than usual. I hope you accept my invitation of inviting you to be a happy community. May your family, your organization, your community, your neighbor, or may our family or community, or society, or neighbor live in harmony, joy, peace, understanding, love, each day, more and more. Thank you. Let us enjoy Brisa.